Russian President Vladimir Putin will be arriving in India today, which is Monday afternoon, for the annual summit between India and Russia. The foreign ministers as well as the defense minister of Russia are already in the country, and they will be meeting their counterparts Rajnath Singh as well as S. Jaishankar as part of the 2+2 talks between the two countries. There are several deals that are waiting to be signed, including, of course, a very critical logistics defense agreement, and it also remains to be seen if the bilateral agreement between the two countries and the text of the agreement, in fact, contains any references to the Indo-Pacific as well. Let me go across to Srinjoy Chaudhary for more updates on this. Srinjoy, good morning. Vladimir Putin is expected to visit India sometime later today to, in fact, have bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi. The foreign and defense ministers of Russia are already in town. What are some of the key takeaways that you're expecting to be inked during the course of this meeting?
Well, on the foreign ministry front, there are two things that will be looked at very seriously. One, of course, is the situation in Afghanistan. That will be in discussion today. India and Russia seem to have similar views on the subject. The other issue that will be looked at, of course, will be cross-border terrorism and terrorism in general. As far as defense is concerned, there are two deals that are likely to go through, two agreements that are likely to go through. The first relates to the Kalashnikov deal, and that Kalashnikov deal is a 5,200 crore deal, and 6 lakh Kalashnikovs are involved, of which over 5 lakh Kalashnikov 203 assault rifles will be made in Amethi in India, in Uttar Pradesh, after the deal is signed. That's really a major issue. The second very important issue is a 10-year agreement between India and Russia on defense and technical issues. This is the third time this will be renewed. And very importantly, it has to be said that if this agreement is signed, then India and Russia will continue to be close defense partners till 2031. Yes, you did mention a logistics deal. It is not certain whether it will go through this time. It could well happen the next time. The other issue that could be looked at very seriously is an agreement on naval issues, which is likely in the future. This will be an agreement between Russian and Indian naval officers, and this deal basically will mean closer cooperation between the navies of both countries. The Russians want naval officers to sign it, and the Russian Navy chief is not going to be here, so it is possible that this deal will also be held back. The other two, the Kalashnikov deal and the 10-year defense technical cooperation deal, are likely to go through this time.
Srinjoy, whenever India has in fact had multilateral or bilateral meetings with countries belonging to the Quad, for instance, China has always been a very constant theme. Are we likely to expect any headway with regards to India and Russia discussing China, particularly the Indo-Pacific too?
Well, yes, the Indo-Pacific, the Russians have some questions about the Indo-Pacific, but India has made it very clear that, look here, you are friends, and you will continue to remain friends. In fact, the senior Russian diplomats in here privately refer to America as with Indians as your new friends, which of course means that Russia continues to be an old friend. And while Russia has some reservations about the Indo-Pacific and America's increasing role, Russia believes that India will always be a close friend, and that will never change. And that point is being made very clearly to the Russians this time. That, look here, you have been very close friends, and if you're going to sign an agreement which will keep the Indian and Russian armed forces together, not to speak of the DRDO and its equivalent, for the next 10 years, then clearly India and Russia have a lot to do over the next 10 years.
Right. Many thanks for that update, Srinjoy. Of course, Vladimir Putin arrives in India later this afternoon, and we'll be in touch with Srinjoy Chaudhary for all the updates coming in from that bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as well as the 2+2 meeting involving the foreign ministers and the defense ministers of the two countries. Thanks for that.